Welcome to Don't Spill the Tea, Spill the Truth. I'm Walt J, joined by co-hosts Melody and Cara. Today's conversation, friends and foe. Are relationships built on truth, loyalty, or simply convenience? So what y'all think about the topic?
Let's get into it. I'm ready for it.
Great topic, great topic.
Okay. Well, by me being a nice gentleman I'm going to let Cara start it off because I'm nice like that.
My God, are we being a gentleman tonight? Are we really doing it?
I thought I do it all the time. Last time I said Melanie started off.
So we changing places now. I gotcha. All right. So before we get into this, what about let's spill the tea for the social media that's going on?
This weekend been it was hot.
Right. Okay. Topic. I don't want to be on nobody petty list, and that is 50 cents petty. So when we talking about loyalty and convenience, yeah, I don't want to be on 50 Cent petty. What y'all think about 50 Cent?
50 Cent is, I'm going to be honest, he messy. To be a man, he's messy. But I guess that's what pays controversy or drama. He's drama filled.
I
Sometimes
think
over the top.
I think the reason why he's doing it because he feel like his 15 minutes of fame is almost over with. So he got to start some beef with somebody.
Okay.
15 minutes worth of fame because here we. So you forgot who 50 is. He is over the power universe. I don't think his 15 minutes of fame is never up, right? Because he created a studio in Shreveport, and then he's over the power universe. So do we really think these 15 minutes is up?
No.
Well, he got to, like you said, he started all that stuff up, right? But he got to do something to keep his name in the tabloid somehow. He got to keep it going.
So you think it's a tabloid thing? It has nothing to do with power. I mean, it's a little extra because if you want to compare power moves or being relevant, less, and it's not comparable. But Denzel Washington, I've never seen him in the tabloids for drama. He just move across the chessboard elegantly, like that's power. So I think it's unnecessary.
You talking about two different people, though.
I know. I said incomparable now. Incomparable. They not the same character at all. But you said to keep himself relevant. But Carl just brought the point of him having power. That is enough to remain relevant. And then the other series that he has beyond power, because I think he has a few more, right?
Yeah, the
So
power universe. Yeah, pretty
yeah, that's
much.
what I'm saying. So why even dibble in that? In that,
Yeah,
I just think he's messy. I'm not a drama person.
Remember, drama creates awareness.
I guess.
I'm just saying. Okay, next spill the tea. What do y'all think about this drama with Center? Have y'all seen the movie Center?
Unfortunately, I have not. That
What
is on
about you?
the list.
Oh, you gotta see it. It is so good. What you think, was? Have you seen Centers?
it's real good. I do have to admit, it's real good.
So the drama is they went to a award show, and unfortunately, this gentleman had Tourette, and he was using the N word. And there's been a controversy about, the actor and actress winning, but the color of your skin and being in the Academy Hollywood Award. What do y'all think about that?
So his Tourette's decided to Tourette when Michael B. Jordan and what's the other gentleman name? I can't.
I think that's Mr.
Yes. So his Tourette's decided to Tourette in that very moment. Out of all the moments in the award, because award shows are very, very long. So it just happened to move right then and there.
Can't disagree with you on that. To
Yeah.
my understanding, it's supposed to have been edited. And why they didn't edit that part out makes you think about, once again,
Right. And then it was a nice little delay before Michael B. Jordan even spoke to receive the award. So it could have very well been edited out. But
Wow, I need to go watch that on YouTube. I missed it.
you
you
haven't seen
missed it. Oh my God,
that
it's
one
been
was
all
on
on social
TikTok.
media, everywhere.
Yeah.
Me.
That's why I said I have to go watch it.
Okay, we're gonna have
All
to
right,
catch up.
we got to catch you up.
I got one more. So this
Okay.
is locally. Did you get to see the wedding yesterday?
Oh my God.
No, I did not see it.
Can I plead the fifth on that conversation?
Kind of curious on how it was now. Come on, you gotta tell me how it was.
The wedding was it was a nice wedding. I didn't per se care for the. I'm not into the 19s prom dress type wedding dresses, but the wedding was nice from it, as much as I saw up until I think they took pictures, so I saw them do their vows and all of that.
You go see it at.
It was on TikTok. Went live. I screenshotted it to Cara, so there was over 20. Was
They
it
had
20 million views?
2 million views. But let's get a
It got up to
backstory just a little bit for our audience that don't understand what we're talking about right
okay. So we're talking about Sippy K King, which is a baker, local baker here. Also, he has competed on several shows. He had relocated at one point to Miami where he was doing really, really big things and he moved back. So he was going through, I guess, this healing phase, and Sippy K King was once considered himself to be a gay man. So he decided that he wanted to turn his life around and um, date a woman. So he met a young lady via, I guess, like one of the dating apps here, and they hit it off, and it went from there to engagement to now being married. So we're gonna let Carl. You gonna feel the rest in?
I think I'm gonna still plead the fifth on this conversation because I'm happy that people want to be married under the eyes of God, but I think that's all. My mama told me you have nothing nice to say, don't say nothing about it. So I'm gonna follow that rule.
Now you're gonna follow the rule. No
I'm
different.
just like,
Well, the reason why I brought it up because I just happened to be scrolling and it popped. It was one of the lives. Of course, you got 2 million views. Your live top. It was like the top live that was on. So it got up to 3 million or 4 million views yesterday. So that is really what sparked my interest. I'm like, wow. I didn't realize that that many people would actually, view and like the live.
I think he's a social media influencer. So anybody with social media influence, they're gonna get the view, especially if they have a story and people can relate to that story. So,
Well,
kudos to them though.
I agree with them. I agree with that being said. So I'm not speaking ill on anybody. I mean, everybody has their right to choose and how they choose.
Yeah.
Like you said, I wish them well. But again, that is the tea for the city, and that was popping. So hey, I just wanted to bring that up. I did see a few comments. I think it was a clothing designer and fashion designer local by the name of Thomas, and he was like, "What?" He was talking about the train of the dress because the train was extremely long, like really really long, and then it had all the ruffles and like a 1990s prom dress. It had all the ruffles and it was very very long. So it was hard for her to dance when they did their first dance because the
Oh,
train was so massive. But that got a lot of views, a lot of likes, a lot of views.
okay.
I couldn't help but I looked it up myself and started looking at some of the pictures on it.
Did you? Okay.
Yes, yes,
Check
yes.
out Mr. Wow.
You know, who filmed it?
I'm not sure.
Maybe next time I can get Walter. I mean,
Yeah, it looks pretty. I do see what you're talking about with the dress.
It,
Interesting.
but it almost from what I saw, she kind of reminded me of something Cardi B had done. So it seemed like it was kind of a spin off
okay.
uh Cardi B style. Her hair was kind of similar to that. Probably similar too. So it was Cardi B relative, a dupe maybe, as they say.
Mm.
So that is the T for that. All right, friend or foe,
Friend of foe. Ooh,
friends or
topic. Friend of foe.
yeah.
Loyalty or convenience. Let's get into it. First, we want to get into the definition of loyalty. Strong, steadfast commitment, devotion, or allegiance to that person, right? And then you got your friend, a person whom one has a bond of mutual affection, trust. It's a fun definition, right? And then we got convenience. I feel like the short version of convenience is not minimize effort. Like you don't have to do too much. It's convenient, right? So Tell me about a time where you think you had a situation between friends and for your loyalty or convenience in a situation. Let go, Walt.
I knew you was gonna start with me first. Okay. As usual, I might have to pass because I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of good. But I know Melanie is always ready.
Ready for the hot potato.
Yep. So I'm gonna pass it on.
I have actually had a lot of experiences with friend of foes. Let me pick one. Let's see. Where my loyalty or their loyalty is car.
Loyalty or convenience in the aspect of friends and both. Your experience.
Thought of a situation.
We're gonna let you go then. And then I'll piggyback off of you.
All right. To me, I feel like convenience creates temporary friendship. And you know how sometimes when you be in a bind, and sometimes, some people say, hey, if you need anything, I got you. I got you. So you think they loyalty to you. I got you and stuff like this, right? But when stuff hit the fans and you at your low, and you go back and ask that same person, hey, can you help me out with this? Can you help me out with that, right? And they tell you, no, man, I don't have it this time. Next time I get you. So to me, I felt like it was convenience for them to tell me that at the time because I didn't need anything. Man, I got you. But then you have that one person, you consider your ride or die, your loyalty to you. You can go ask them for assistance and everything like that, and they got you. Like, let me give you an example. When I was in the military, my supervisor at the time, right? I left from the duty station.
Mm-hmm.
Hadn't seen him for 15 years. This is a loyalty base. Hadn't seen him 15 years, hadn't spoke with him about ever since about 6, 7 years, right? He found himself in the bar. He said, hey man, can I borrow some money? Now I hadn't seen him 15 years, but we texting each other and find a call and all this stuff like this, right? So because I knew what kind of person he was to me, which was loyalty, I went ahead and gave him the money. Didn't even have to ask for it back or anything like that. And when he was able to give it back to me, he gave it back to me. To me, that's loyalty right there. He wasn't just saying it to me to be a friend. He wasn't just saying the words. I wasn't saying the words to him, or he wasn't saying the words to me and say, I got you and all like this, right? I had proved to him that I got you. And so that was more loyalty. It wasn't convenience. That's one of the situations right there. Because people tell you all the time, say, hey man, I got you. If you need anything, I got you. But then when that time comes when you want to ask for some help, they come up with all the excuses in the world.
True.
And you realize they don't got you. So that's the reason why I say convenience creates a temporary friendship. And loyalty, you can stop talking to somebody for 3 or 4 or 5 years, right? And come back around, they still got you.
Correct.
That's factual. I'm trying to get one that's not where it was like harsh betrayal.
I want to know the harsh betrayal.
Oof. Harsh betrayal?
Yeah. Part of you want to say it because you want to say it like that. So you got
I
everybody
agree.
wonder. So we
You
all
tell.
ears. We waiting.
I would say, okay, when harsh betrayal, this was someone I really, really looked up to. A friend, like big sister. And she had lost her job. And I brought her into the salon and gave her a job, right? And she worked there for a while. And at the time, I'm thinking everything is great. I decided to go on a trip, go out the country. And when I come back from my vacation, half my staff gone. So when I asked, I'm like, well, what happened to my assistant quit? So me and at the time, my assistant and I, we worked very, very well together. And we had great communication. So when she quit, I'm like, well, why would she quit? And then she was like, well, she decided that she was going to move home. And I really didn't question it because she was a friend. I thought that she was telling me the truth. The other people that quit, she basically said they decided they didn't work there anymore. And then as time progressed, she's like, well, hey, I'm getting ready to go to nursing school. I'm going to leave. As we got ready to like send her off, I'm sending her off for nursing school. She calls. I think I had a hair show to do. And she calls and tell me like, hey, I'm getting ready to, matter of fact, it was right before my birthday. The grand opening was on my birthday. So she calls me and tell me that she's opening a salon and that the staff that was now missing are working with her. And she's opening natural hair salon. And it's not far from my salon at that time. And she responded and say, "Hey, it's nothing personal. Let's get this money." And that was like the end of it. Now I'm helping you, but the whole time you're sizing me up. You're looking at, basically you inside the business. So I feel that wasn't, I guess the convenience was proximity or closeness to have me as a friend so that you could eye out whatever your next move was. But at that time, that cut very, very deep, very, very, very deep. So I think that was probably my first experience of like betrayal from someone that I considered to be like a very, very close friend. And it it hurt. It hurt.
It sound like that hurt.
Yeah.
Do y'all see each other right now?
Unfortunately, she is now deceased. Yeah. So upon her, she passed away from leukemia, and she called me right before she actually went ill. And I end up actually styling her hair for her homegoing celebration. So
Wow, sounds like you were still that friend and not for convenience.
yeah. I guess that is something. When I say I'm your friend, I'm your friend. So before passing, she did ask for forgiveness. I forgave her, and her family asked me to, style her hair for her homegoing, and I did that. Because I didn't want resentment or bitterness to be left after that. If someone asks for forgiveness, then you let it go. And unfortunately, I had to let go in more than one way. I had to let go in forgiveness and actually let go of her on Earth side for her to transition. So that was it. It was tough. It was a lot. That was a lot of emotional. That was like an emotional roller coaster. Sitting down with someone who betrayed you to give them forgiveness, and then in the blink of an eye and less than a week later she passed away. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, shout out to forgiveness. Forgiveness
Absolutely.
is I feel like that's a growth for you to forgive somebody that betrayed you. So shout out to you.
I think
I feel like friends and foe. I'm gonna be honest. People need to know the definition of friend, like we said in the beginning, right? Trust and support, right? But everybody's not your friend. So we gotta start paying attention and realizing what is the true meaning of friendship. So are we labeling people as friends because they are part of our life, they do something for us, or are we looking for a convenience for us? Because a lot of times we look at people like, oh, that's my friend. But what did that person do? I feel like a friend is somebody that's gonna be there for you no matter what. The ups and downs. I can tell you birth, wedding, divorce. That, those are friendship, right? And then we talk about the convenience. Walt said, people come in and say, hey, I need to borrow something. Oh, I got you. But then when it turns out when you really need them, they're not there for you. So I think we need to start internalizing and truly understanding the meaning of friendship. Because I'm gonna be honest, I don't use that word friend too often because loyalty is so important to me. I feel like I'm one of those people. I'm loyal by fault. Like you come into my life, you always want to leave the person better than you left them, right? So as a
absolutely.
friend, I want you to leave better than when we met, and I want you to, as me, grow. You know, so have I had instance of friendship of loyalty and convenience? Absolutely. I think during college, my younger years. But I can say I have had some friends of lifetime of friendship from college that I still we truly have a friendship. We actually have a sisterhood. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the aspect that I'm coming from on my take of loyalty and convenience for that part. You went a little deeper with yours, so I do have a situation, but am I ready to talk about it? Or should we dive into this a little bit more and give examples and stuff? I'm gonna give it to you, Walt.
Well, since I passed the potato the first time, but I came back and got it back again. This time I'm gonna pass it. I'm gonna let it be, let it pass this time. So I'm gonna pass it off to Melanie, and
We can't just be passing that. We
You
like we
skating
like
now.
your perspective because that
but I took it back
military.
though. I
You
took it
took it
back
back.
though.
Okay, he don't
I
take it
took it
back.
back. This time I'm just gonna pass. I'm just gonna be a gentleman. Just wait.
Okay.
So back to the what you just asked about calling people friends. So I think it all that may come from how you're raised, right? So in our other segment, I was raised in a village, so everybody was basically like close friends. Not saying it wasn't foes, but it was close friends. So when I moved, relocated, it took me, it probably didn't register to me to after some of those betrayals that I was not in the same type of environment. And I thought that I could build friendships and relationships the same way as I was raised. So it didn't hit or register to me that that's not it wasn't the same, not the same environment. So I can't be friendly. I didn't know what snakes was because I didn't see snakes when I was growing up. I didn't know what the lepers were because we didn't have the lepers with spots, because we when you're in a village you're protected from things like that. So I wasn't able to identify this. So I literally thought that when girls came up to me to befriend me, that they really were befriending me because I was raised in a friendly, family oriented environment. So those were lessons that I had to learn. I learned like a lot of hard lessons when it came to vetting friends or knowing when someone is a finesser. I started my business young. I was 26 when I started my business. I've always been a hard worker, go getter. At age 25, I had 5 vehicles. So when females would come around to be my friend in college, I was a Miller Lite girl, Jack Daniels girl. So I was on the scene, pretty. So I'm thinking, oh, they really want to be my friend, not knowing that it was the convenience of the places that I could get into that they couldn't get into, or the people that I was around. So that for me, I had to learn to how to be able learn to ID those character traits or those character flaws in people to know that I could not call them my friends. So I may have called some snakes, some tigers, some leopards, my friend, and they weren't my friend. They were only there for the convenience. And I was being a friend, but they weren't being a friend to me.
Wow. I can take mine back to college. I befriended this person. We became friends for a long time until I realized this person is habitual life.
Mm,
So because I knew what a friend was, regardless of the fact, I'm gonna be your friend regardless. Because what if you grew up being in that household that's all you knew? Or it could be now that we are adults now, it could be trauma filled why you feel like that you gotta lie about stuff. See? And unfortunately we had a conversation and I was going through therapy during this time. And I let that person know, like, hey, you hurt my feelings, da da da. This person chose to be aggressive. This person chose not to listen or validate my feelings.
mm,
At that point in time, I'm on the level of growth, right? So being in the level of growth, I expect, which I'm learning, you can't expect that from everybody because what you do, everybody else don't do,
absolutely.
is to handle me with care because I always handle you with care. And if you needed something, we would go on trips. I'm that friend that's loyal, not for convenience, but if you needed something, I'm there. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that person didn't return the favor and paying back, which they did, because I don't like talking negative on people. But the convenience of our friendship during that particular time, that's where you became a foe. And unfortunately, our 20 plus year friendship is no more because where I am growing, you're staying stagnant. And I value the word friendship, not friend, but friendship. And that's where we have a disagreement in. And I wish that person well. See, that's still called growth when you still wish that person well.
Absolutely.
Mm.
But that's what I learned from that friends and foe. Unfortunately, that person is a foe now, but I still wish her well in life. Like her kid, I love her kid. You know what I'm saying? Just in case they ever hear this podcast, I still love. But sometimes you grow apart and it's time to move on because you don't want to stay stagnant. I don't want to stay stagnant in my growth, especially with friendship. So that's my situation with that friend. What you gonna say, man?
Something you just said, when you grow apart, we have to be foes. Why is it that we just can't grow apart?
Depends on. Well, that's a very good question, but that depends on where they are in their life. You got to
Yeah.
think about it. If I am seeking for growth and healing on my part, because let's be real, a lot of us grow up right, not
Hmm.
realizing we went through childhood trauma. Until you hold a mirror in your face and have a reflection, like, hey, there's some things I need to work on, and let's be honest, I want to work on it, and then I seek out therapy to work on that. And
Hmm.
this person, as you have experienced over 20 years, they don't see nothing wrong or anything that they have done. We're not on the same page. We're not on the same level. And guess what? That's okay.
True.
So when you are leveling up, which I call it leveling up and going on, sometimes you're gonna leave some people in the past. And sometimes them people might become foe because remember, in friendship, you have jealousy, you have competition, which what I wish we didn't have that, but unfortunately, we living in the real world. We had that.
Hmm.
So that's why it end up turning to foe sometimes because they haven't dealt with their shit. I'm just gonna say that. They haven't dealt with their shit. Yeah. What you think, Well?
Well, I want to add on to the previous thing that y'all was giving out, examples and stuff. But I had a situation at work, with a coworker. And, that made me really realize, you can't call everybody, like you said, friends, but you can call them associates. It's a difference between friends and associates. And sometimes you have to realize the people who you meet at work, that's what they're there for. You talk and speak while you at work with them. When you leave, you lose, I'm not going to say you lose contact with them, but that's not work. So you don't hang out, nothing like that. The reason why I say that is because me and this person was real good friends and we started out working together, hanging out and all that stuff. But like you said, that was a big liar. And so you telling them one thing, they talking to you about different things. Just give you an example, talking to you about the supervisor, talking to you about different people, right? So as they talking to you, they getting your input and all that stuff. Little do you know, they going back and say what you said. But they leaving out the part, but it was a conversation. Only reason why you said what you said because y'all was conversing between each other. And so that didn't last long because I felt like that, okay, I can't tell you anything because you're going to go back and twist the words and go make you look good. And then, you realize when you start walking around, you say, hey, why everybody's not really speaking to me? They were giving you the cold shoulder because the person you was talking to, you figure out they weren't your friend, they were your foe. So sometimes you gotta just let it be. It wasn't no outgrown that person. The person was just shady. So you just had to let them go. Speak, still be cordial, speak, because you still gotta be professional in the workplace. But you handle that person as a distant with at a distance and not keep them up close and not even when they want to try to talk to you, try to get information out of you and stuff like that. So sometimes you gotta just that's when you have to like Melanie said, you have to start IDing people. Sometimes when you try to ID people, you don't get it right in the beginning because it takes some time to develop in your life so you can really recognize who they are. But once you get that, now okay, I ID you this person. I'm still gonna be cordial with you because and be professional because this is where I got to be at because you are associate working here. Outside here, you don't have to ask me what I'm doing later on. We don't even have to have small talk. Just keep it professional, keep it cordial. So that's my intake on that.
I'll ask you something, Pastor. As a man, as our co-host, is it hard being a man and finding friendship, like authentic, like friendship with loyalty or convenience?
Depends on your environment
It's hard.
because it was easy to find people who you work with. So, like in the military, I know I like to bring up the military. If you know you're gonna be with that person, or y'all checking the same duty station, and y'all gonna be there for 3 years, and y'all doing the same work and stuff, it's easy to develop friendship. It's easy, especially when the person you already is trying to develop a bond. Like I told you, like gave you an example about the young guy who we haven't met. I seen him one, I let him borrow some money. No, during that time frame, he let me babysit his children. He didn't have to do that, but it was something that he trusted me. And then after that, I'm sitting at home babysitting his children. He's telling me some stuff going on. I'm telling him, sharing some information about me and stuff. So we developed that right there. So I want to say it all depends on the environment. Now, in the times when I was a police officer, you know,
You was a
What?
police
We
officer?
didn't know you was a police officer. Go ahead, tell us. Tell us
Police
more.
officer, police officer in Jackson State, right?
Okay.
And then when the thing about that is, you know, I consider, it's a term that you learn in the military. I'm quite sure we call it brown nosing.
Mm-hmm.
And then when people brown nose, like say for Jackson State, they come in, they say like a little hype man, come in, say all the good stuff to you. Yeah, I can't believe they did that, such stuff like this, carry on, all that stuff. So they going back and tell the supervisor what you said and stuff. Just to get on that good side, get all the good assignments and all that stuff, getting the good grace and everything like that, right? So it all depends on your environment, your situation.
I think more men need to hear that. So that's why.
So you said something earlier about IDing. So I looked that up because a lot of people don't. You may have some people that still don't know how to ID like certain behaviors. So per Google, antagonistic behavior is part of IDing who a foe is. Transactional relationships, deceit and gossip, emotional exclusion, negative body language, lack of genuine growth, passive aggressive comments, inconsistent support, repetitive cycles, and disrupting milestones are considered key indicators of a foe. Persistent negativity, jealousy, selfishness, and actions of to sabotage your success. Those are your indicators of foes. So, with that being said, has anyone recently been able to recognize any of those behaviors? I have.
In friendship?
Yeah.
The question.
Well, I'm not gonna say French. Well, it's
That's
friendship.
a
Yeah,
conversation. That's a
we're a little older now, so I'm pretty sure we have kind of weeded our garden and gotten the snakes out the grass. We've cut our grass very low so we can see the snakes now. So hopefully we don't have that in friendship.
Circle is real small as you get older.
I was just about to say that.
But the circle may not always be friends. Your circle could be family.
Yeah.
Definitely another a part two to this, friends and foe dealing with
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
family. Like, are we
You
ready
know,
for that point?
You know what? At times, when it comes to loved ones, as close as family, I don't think we're ever ready when it comes to faux behavior or betrayal or anything like that, because those family is who you could hold close near to your heart. Home is where the heart is, so family is home. So I don't think any of us are ready for that experience. But do we experience it? Yeah.
okay. Well, like Cara just said, we just opened up a part 2 right there. That's a whole different topic. We talking about friends, now we talking about family, because family and go. Yeah, that's a whole different topic right there.
Well,
So
I
So
say
stay
say
tuned.
go deep,
Part
put
two.
it out there. I mean, because friends are friends, and some friends you keep for a lifetime, and then some you exchange them, as you grow. And I
yep,
mean,
they only there for seasonal, as most people say.
that is true.
Some people is only seasonal in your life, a
That's
short period of
right.
time.
They come for a minute, a season, or
Lifetime.
a lifetime. I agree. But yeah, let's stay tuned for part two. We got the family, friends, and foe family edition.
Okay. I'm looking forward to it. Look
You're
forward
gonna
to.
have to talk about that. You don't
Ooh,
skate just because you think family gonna listen. Just put it out there. It is what it is.
Oh yeah. Okay. Okay.
The
Okay.
we
truth.
got this
The
coming to a
truth.
city near you. Part two. Y'all ready to do this?
Yes.
The
Part
truth.
two. Part two.
Part two.
Don't spill the what?
Don't spill the tea. Spill the truth.
All right.
All right. Y'all have anything else before we wrap up this segment?
Where's the next segment gonna be? Where we gonna be?
New Orleans.
We
All right.
are heading to New Orleans.
The NOLA, baby.
Hey. So stay tuned for part two for friends and foe for family edition.
Right.
All right. This is Walt J with Melody and Cara on Don't Spill the Tea, Spill the Truth. Remember, friends and foe reveal themselves over time. Loyalty stands strong while convenience fades when circumstances change. That's a wrap, people. Until then.